la 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 la. La 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav V'tzivanu lehadlik ner V'tzivanu lehadlik ner V'tzivanu lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat. La 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 la.
Shabbat Shalom, welcome, Bruchim Ba'im, good evening. Today was Yom Yerushalayim, Jerusalem Day, a day when we honor and think about and celebrate the reunification of Jerusalem in the Six-Day War, and that moment of bringing the Western Wall and Jerusalem back into Jewish sovereignty, a moment we'd waited for 2,000 years. Let us turn to our Kabbalat Shabbat service, a service created by the Kabbalists at Tzfat, who used to go out into the fields, their hearts full of yearning and devotion to greet the Shekhinah, the bride Shabbat. So let us begin our service. We're going to turn to page 5 in our Sidurim, in our prayer books, for a responsive reading of Shalom Aleichem. Peace to you, ministering angels, messengers of the Most High, sent by the sovereign of all sovereigns, the Holy One, whom we bless.
Come in peace, angels of peace, messengers of the Most High.
Bless me with peace, angels of peace, messengers of the Most High.
Go in peace, angels of peace, messengers of the Most High. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Boachem L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Baruchuni L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Tzeitichem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Let us move on to our Psalms on Friday night, beginning with Psalm 95 on page 11. Lechu neranena l'Adonai, naria letzorishenu, nikadma fanav, b'toda, b'ezmirod naria lo. Ki el gadol Adonai. Including on page 12, Arba'im Shana Kut Bedor, Ba'omaram Toe Levavim, V'em Lo Yadu Derachai, Asher Nishbati V'api, Em Yivon, El menuchati, Shiru l'Adonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru l'Adonai, Varchu shemo, Vasru miyom lishom Yeshuato, Sapru vagoyim, Kivodo bechol amim, Nifleotav, Gadol Adonai, Umeulal meod, Norau, Al kol Elohim, Ki kol Elohei hamim elim, Adonai shamayim asa, Od v'yada lifanav, Oz v'tiferet v'migdasho, Havu l'Adonai, Mishpechot ha'amim, Havu l'Adonai, Avod va'oz, Havu l'Adonai, Kevod shemo, Seu mincha, Uvo lechatzrotav, Lai 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 lai. Lifnei Adonai kiva lishpot haaretz, yishpot tevel betzedek, v'yamim b'emunato. On page 15. Adonai malach hagel haaretz, Yismechu im rabim.
Please join me for a responsive reading on the left-hand side of page 15.
Okay. All right.
Adonai reigns, let the earth be glad, and many distant lands rejoice.
Clouds and thick darkness surround the divine. Righteousness and justice secure God's throne. Fire goes before God, consuming besiegers round about.
Flashes of lightning illumine the land. The earth watches and trembles. Mountains melt like wax at the approach of Adonai, at the approach of the Master of all the earth.
The heavens tell of God's righteousness, and all the nations see God's glory.
Oh,
shoot.
Light is sown for the righteous and joy for the upright. Or zaru el atzadik, uleshre lev simcha, simchu tzarikim b'Adonai, ve'odu lezecher kodesho. Page 17. מזמור שירו לאדוני, שיר חדש, כי נפלאות עשה. הושיע לו ימינו, וזרוע קודשו, די אדוני ישועתו, לעיני הגויים גילה צדקתו. זכר חסדו ואמונתו לבית ישראל, ראו כל אפסי הארץ את ישועת אלוהינו. הריעו לאדוני כל הארץ, תצחו ורננו וזמרו, זמרו לאדוני בכינור, בכינור וכל זמרה, בחצוצרות וכל שופר. הריעו לבני המלך אדוני, ירם הים ומלואו, תבל ויושבי בה, נערות ימחאו כף יחד, הרים ירננו לפני אדוני, כי בא לשפוט הארץ. ישפוט תבל בצדק, וימים במישרים. די 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 Adonai malach yirgezu amim, Yoshev kirovim tanutaretz. We're on page 19. Kadosh hu, Moshe ve'Aaron. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו.
Please rise. We turn to page 21, Mizmor LeDavid. Psalm of David, acclaim Adonai, children of the divine, Adonai, over the great sea, the voice of Adonai with all its power, the voice of Adonai shatters the cedars. Also the same voice that blesses his people with peace.
מזמור לדוד, אבו לאדוני בנעלים, אבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז, אבו לאדוני כבוד שמו, השתחוו לאדוני ביד הקודש, כל אדוני על המים, את הכבוד ירים, אדוני על מים, מים רבים, כל אדוני בכוכב, כל אדוני ליד ההר, כל אדוני שובר ארזים, וישבר אדוני את ארזי הלבנון, וירקידם כמו עגל לבנון, וסריון כמו בן רמי, כל אדוני חוצב להבות אש, כל אדוני יכיל מדבר, יכיל אדוני מדבר קדש, כל אדוני יכול על ילות, ויחשוף יערות ובחלו כולו מרכבות. אדוני למה בו ישב אדוני מלך לעולם, אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך רמו ושלום. איי די 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 lie, 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 lie.
Please be seated. We turn to Lecha Dodi, page 23.
Lecha Dodi likrat galap pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat galap pnei Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad. השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה. סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה, ומצאי מתוך הפכה. רב לך שבק במקבך, והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התנערי מעפר קומי, לבשי בגדי תפארתך עמי. על ידן ישי ותלחמי, קרבה אל נפשי גאלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, אורי, אורי. שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לא תבושי ולא תקלמי, מה תשתחקי ומה תהמי, אך יחסו עניי עמי, ונבנתה עיר על תהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Let us go directly to the last stanza on page 25. We rise, we face the entrance to greet the bride Shabbat. בואי ושלום עטרת בלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Please remain standing. We turn to the Baruch Hu, our call to worship on page 39a.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMivorach. Baruch Adonai HaMivorach Leolam Va'ed.
Please be seated. We turn to a responsive reading on the far left column of page 39a. Beloved are you, eternal God, by whose design the evening falls, by whose command dimensions open up and eons pass away and stars spin in their orbits.
You set the rhythms of day and night, the alternation of light.
In rising sun and in spreading dusk, creator of all, you are made manifest.
Eternal, everlasting God, may we always be.
Beloved are you, Adonai, for this hour of nightfall.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב ערבי. On page 40. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amechavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Chukot mushtim Otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu V'shochveinu v'kumeinu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki hem chayenu v'yorech yameinu u'v'hem negei yomam v'layla v'ahavatech al tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch ata Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol miodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele Asher Anochi Mitzavecha Hayom Alevavecha Vishinantam Levanecha Vidibarta Bam Vishivtecha Bevetecha Uvlechtecha Vaderech Uv'shorbecha uv'kumecha Ukshatam liot al yadecha V'ayu letotafot beinenecha Uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha Uv'yisharecha. Impress these words of mine upon your heart and upon your soul. Bind them as a sign upon your hand and as a symbol above your eyes. Teach them to your children by speaking of them when you sit in your home, when you walk on your way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. Inscribe them upon the doorposts of your home and on your gates. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe lemor. V'chen letzitzit. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem amen. V'yatziv v'nechon.
We turn to page 43b. The responsive reading. You proclaimed the covenant on the seventh day.
You declared it and decreed it. We listened and heard it.
You loved this day. We inherited, delighting in its remembrance.
And began its command with the word remember, Zachor.
From the time you bestowed it, joy filled the hearts of Yeshurun, the people you redeemed.
Securing the cause of righteousness.
You exalted Shabbat as a sign between us forever. In 6 days your world was formed. On the seventh day you rested. To honor your name, they sing songs of praise to the one deserving of praise.
Our song of praise is on page 44, the fourth line down. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Ay bai bai bim bim bam, yaba bai bai bim bam. Ay bai bai bim bim bam, yaba bai bai bim bam. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nurati lo tosef felle, Nurati lo se felle, Malchutecha ra'uvanecha, Pokea lifnei Moshe, Zeli, Anu ve'amru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom V'yahamideinu Malkeinu L'chayim Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shilomecha V'taknenu V'etzah Tovah מלפניך והושיענו למען שמך ויגן בידינו ויעשה. ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו, ועל כל עמו ישראל, ועל ירושלים. Page 46. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת, לדורותם ברידול, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו
בני ישראל.
את השבת, לעשות את השבת, לדורותם ברידול, יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה קירותי, וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בעגלה, ובזמן קריב יאמרו, אמן. יהי שמיה במברך, יעלם על מעל מיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן ועלמה ויאמרו Amen.
Our silent Amidah begins on page 47, and we continue silently through to page 52.
La 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 la. Oh, say shalom, shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen.
Please remain standing. We turn to our Kiddush, page 55.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lemasei bereshit ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim kivanu v'charta Yotanu kidashta mikohamim v'shabbat kodshecha b'ahava v'ratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mikadesh HaShabbat.
Please be seated. Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
Last week, I spent 4 days in France. I went on a very quick trip. And I went to visit a friend of mine who had advanced cancer. I went to visit him as well 5 years ago when he had his first spreading of the disease. And I went to visit him now after a major surgery he had. And his morale was down. He did not look well, but he was still ready to continue the fight. But a big part of this journey for him has been once, as I've shared from the Bima before, once he had his diagnosis, he started to really try and live by his dreams. So he had this dream of working in the countryside. He lived in a big city, and he was a teacher. And one day, a few years ago, in the midst of all the illness and everything he was going through, one of his students said, who was very close to him, said that his father, who worked in the French countryside in Normandy making weather vanes, wanted him to continue the business after he retired. So my friend jumped to the thought of moving away from the city, and he loved working with his hands. And so he took a trip and he visited, and he loved the trade. So he started making these weather vanes out of copper, made in the way they always had, soldering copper. And he set up shop in one of the most beautiful places you can imagine, mastering the trade. And he makes personalized weather vanes that are just beautiful. But he told me there was only not so long after he started this, maybe 4 or 5 months, that he started to feel lonely in his shop, just working day by day, being all by himself. He was used to being with his students. Weather vane after weather vane. And he started to lose pleasure in what he was doing. And he didn't see, well, how is he going to grow in this field of his? Because he felt he was just working with the tools he had and was almost already fully expressing what he had to give in the area. Then his health happened to decline again, and he ended up again dealing with the cancer. And his dream was not what he expected it to be. It didn't completely happen as he thought it would happen. But the journeys of life don't always take us in the directions that we expect them to take us. Now, Parsha this week is Bamidbar. We begin a new book of the Torah. And it's all about the journeys of the children of Israel. They're about to set out to the promised land. A journey of 1 year, but we know how long this journey takes them, 40 years. And when we read how they depart in the Torah, they depart in the most organized fashion. Everything was set the way it needed to be. Everything was planned. And yet we know how many detours they took during those 40 years, how many times they got stuck, going the wrong path, going the other way. And they knew, as we find out a few parshiot from now, they had to go al pi Adonai and had to encamp al pi Adonai. There was a cloud that followed them. Whenever the cloud stopped, they knew they had to encamp. Whenever the cloud started to move again, they knew that was the moment they had to leave. And they did not know anything more than that. There was nothing that they could predict. What they had to do was have faith in that journey in the wilderness as they kept walking through it. And every time there was one of those detours lasting those 40 years, we can imagine that they had to have that faith that this detour would also take them back into the journey and take them back into the direction that they'd been hoping to go on all along. At the beginning of the Parsha, there's this really interesting section where there is a census. And part of the census, right, everybody in of military age was counted before the big journey. And part of it was saying, even those among them who would eventually start rebellions, who were not going to contribute, were also counted. And at the end of the journey, every single leg of the journey, even the ones where they went astray, those two are counted in the 42 steps of the children of Israel. At times we wonder, why did this happen in our life? Wouldn't have been better if we hadn't taken that detour. And yet sometimes those detours lead us to roads that are so important for us. We see a shop where we needed to buy something, and if we hadn't gone down that way, we would have never known that we needed to buy something in that shop. We needed to learn from that step on the journey. Otherwise, it would not have been on the path. And only is at the very end that we realize how important every one of those steps are, every one of those, so to speak, so-called detours. And every moment has its place. And for the children of Israel, as challenging as it was, it also taught them all you have to do is be ready to travel. As you keep traveling, you keep going, you keep learning, and that's the best you can do at times. So when I saw my friend just a few days ago, and he told me about how his dream had changed, and he was going to actually let go of his weather vane business and go and find a different job. God permitting, his health permitting. And he was disappointed, but he would continue. On the other hand, he'd found this wonderful place to live, a traditional home in a little village in Normandy, right off the square with everything he'd ever need. His daughter was absolutely thriving in the countryside and going to school there. And they had a community that was supporting them through everything they were going through. And somehow even the 2-hour trip to the big hospital in Paris he had to take every now and then was taken care of for him by a special indication in the French security system, allowing the government to pay for the taxi each way every time he went. And so it was a place he discovered that was better than all the other places he lived all around the world.
Really?
So he counted his blessings, and he felt that where he was, he had what he needed to continue to fight, even if he wasn't making the weather vanes. And all he could do is take on the next steps, as we all do, in our journey with faith, with courage, and in peace. Shabbat Shalom. Please rise for Aleinu, page 56.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עמונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לבני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אין עוד, אין עוד. Hello. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד ושמו אחד ושמו אחד ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. We turn to our mourners Kaddish on page 58. This week we are observing the following yahrzeits: Sidney Barsky, John Bedner, Frida R. Bernstein, Sonia Block, Henry Brock, Boris Brown, Sam Bernstein, Bessie Koresh, Mary Edelstein, Ida Iserman, Michael Geldner, Sandra Goose Allen, Itzk Gross, George Irving Horwick, Esther Jablon, Israel Katzman, Peter Crowley, Ira Schmelzer Landau, Martin Landauer, Dora Levin, Tilly Melnick, Janice Patterson, Edith Rose, Sam Rosenberg, Jack Seligman, Irving Sheft, Joseph Sherman, Shirley Sloan, Sarah Stone, Rachel Etta Tuvin, Josefina Velasquez, Laura Williams, Blossom Seidel Wilson, Abraham Zahn, Joseph Zayan. If you're observing a yahrzeit or a mourning, please rise and join me in the words of the Kaddish Yatom. Yitkadar v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'almad yivra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei lechol Beit Yisrael, b'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam olmaya. Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitchomam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudasha brichu. Ve'ela minko bechata v'shirata. Tush bechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'kol Yisrael v'imru amen. V'oseh shalom imolmav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'kol Yisrael v'imru amen. We turn to our announcements this evening from Jerry.
Thank you, Rabbi. I'll tell you at the end of the announcements. Okay. Oops. Right. Here are the announcements for this Friday, May 19th. Upcoming this Sunday, beginning at 10:30 a.m., learn from the experts about fall prevention in a class that covers all the basics and includes a short exercise portion on strength and balance. Please note the minor time change, 10:30 instead of 10 a.m. Cantor Figa is planning a Fiddler on the Roof sing-along using the original 1971 movie in remembrance of Topol, who died a couple of weeks ago. This will be on Sunday afternoon, May 21st at 3:30. On Thursday evening, May 25th, beginning at 6:30, we will observe Shavuot with ice cream, followed by a Shavuot service, followed by cheesecake, and finally study. We are hosting our friends from Oak Park Temple on this special holiday night. New to this year, during our experimental study No, it's experiential. During our experiential study sessions, participants will be divided into 5 groups, each representing one of the 5 books of the Torah. Each group will be led by our Zion or Oak Park clergy and will be given an iconic passage from their book to present to the group. Shavuot services will begin at 9 a.m. next Friday. The office will be closed. On Friday morning, May 26th, the Family Fun Kef Mishpachti program will be holding a Shavuot workshop beginning at 10:30 a.m. Registration is required by this Tuesday at noon. The next Red Cross blood drive will be at the temple. It's scheduled for Sunday, May 28th. On Sunday, June 4th at 4 p.m., see and hear the Violins of Hope, instruments from the Holocaust that were collected and repaired by violin maker Amon Weinstein. The Northbrook Symphony will play them in a concert, and tickets can be purchased by Larry Stark, will raise funds for Har Zion. We are all looking forward to the dedication of the Solomon Terrace and Garden on Sunday, June 11th, from 4 to 6 p.m. Please register so that we are able to properly plan for the event. With COVID's arrival and virtual programming, many members borrowed Siddur Lev Shalem prayer books, somewhat newer, the 2016 edition. We are missing a number of them, so please, if you borrowed it and forgot to return it, please return it as quickly as you can. And finally, leave the prayer books with the binding facing upwards so that the Siddurim last longer. Now, join us for a simple Kiddush. We are able to compost again, so please be aware of the proper bins for the waste. And Shabbat Shalom.
Well, you heard about the Fiddler on the Roof sing-along. We're all going to watch the movie. I've edited down to just the songs. I'll narrate the plot in between the songs. We'll see some dialogue as well, but we'll sing along with all those great fiddler songs, like our closing song tonight, Sabbath Prayer. May the Lord protect and defend you. May he always shield you from shame. May you come to be in Yisroel a shining name. May you be like Ruth and like Esther. May you be deserving of praise. Strengthen them, O Lord, and keep them from the stranger's ways. May God bless you and grant you long lives. May God make you good mothers, and may he send you husbands who will care for you. May the Lord protect and defend you. May the Lord preserve you from pain. Favor them, O Lord, with happiness and peace. Oh, hear our Sabbath prayer. Amen. That's our closing song.
Okay.
You want Adon Olam? Adon Olam, Hashem Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzin Ivra, Let Nasa, V'cheso Kol, Azay Melech Shemo Nikra, page 211. V'achare kichlot hakol, Levado Yimloch Nora, Adon Olam, V'hu Aya, V'hu Ove, V'hu Yeh B'tefara, Adon Olam, V'hu Echad, V'yein Sheni, Liam Shelo, Liakwira Adon Olam, Bili Reshit, Bili Taklid, Bilo Haozi Amisra Adon Olam, Vihu Eli, Vichai Goali, Vitzurchev Li, Bietzara Adon Olam, Vihu Nisi, Humanos Li, Menat Kose Beomekra Adon Olam, Biado Avkidruchi, Bieti Shan Biayira Adon Olam, Bimruchi, Geviati, Adonai Le Velo Ira Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Hashem Malach, B'terem Kol, Yetzin Ivra Let Nasa, B'chesokol, Zay Melech Shemo Nikra, Adon Olam.
Please rise for a concluding bracha. Kadosh Baruch Hu, Holy One, blessed be He. Teach us to see all the detours of our life, to understand the detours with wisdom, to have faith in the journey, to surround ourselves with love and joy as we walk into the wilderness to the promised land. Let us say, Amen.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May Adonai bless and protect you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May Adonai's countenance shine upon you, and may Adonai bestow kindness upon you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May Adonai's countenance be lifted towards you. May Adonai grant you peace. Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
We don't have Sarah
When you
to
travel
make
far
a
away, it's
holiday.
Sarah's at shul.
What?
Sarah's in shul.
Oh, she's in shul. Okay.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
said
right.
Pastor Vladimir.
Shabbat shalom from the Elsteins.
Oh, yeah, there she is.
Shabbat shalom.